Well, welcome to Hamilton County TV. I'm Perry Williams, and alongside me is Shane Sumpter, the head basketball coach of the Westfield Shamrocks. Welcome, Coach.
Thanks. Always enjoy talking to you.
Well, I'll tell you what, I will have to say that truly Saturday night got me in Hoosier hysteria excitement because this crowd was unbelievable here at Westfield.
Hoosier hysteria at its finest. I think I got a little goosebumps walking out on the floor and looking up at the upper deck, and there wasn't many seats here Saturday night for sure. In fact, they might have sold more tickets than we have seats, because at one point I looked up and there was a bunch of people on the rail up here. So I'm not sure there was not more people in here than there was seats maybe Saturday night. What a terrific atmosphere, great basketball game, and we'd have loved to come out on top, but you know, learning experience for our guys, and Carmel played better than we did Saturday, so you know, we press on and we try to get better.
Yeah, and you know, the situation too. I mean, they're defending state champions until somebody.
Oh yeah, they're
they're the champs still.
Yeah.
So you know, and they have a few players. It's a totally different team than they had last year, but they have some players back that have been in this type of atmosphere.
Absolutely. You know, it starts with Peter Suter, and he started for him last year, a sophomore, but boy, he sure don't play like a sophomore. He's a really good player, and he just does a lot of things for them. And he's just such a physical presence on the floor, and I have a lot of respect for him. He's a nice kid and a good player, and but man, they got a lot of good players. You know, Charlie inside is, you know, anytime you're 6'9", and I think he had a couple buckets early that kind of hurt us, and that was really the difference in the game. Is the first 3 minutes we got down, I think 10-1. Just we couldn't buy a field goal. But you know, Carmel's really good defensively and very disciplined and very methodical about what they do on the offensive end. So there was really no surprises. They were just better than us Saturday night, and but good basketball team, and well coached, obviously, and it's kind of everything that we thought it would be. You know, we knew it'd be a close game, and Alex said after the first 3 minutes, we kind of played them even, and we could never get over that 6 to 7 point hump. I think at one point in the fourth quarter we might have cut it to 6, but we just couldn't get over that hump and that hurdle. They'd come back out and score a big basket, and but credit goes to Carmel Saturday night.
Yeah, I mean, you know, because you know, each run that you guys made on Saturday night,
they answered.
You know, they answered. And Coach Ryan Osborne, who's done a great job over there. I mean,
absolutely.
I mean, he is at Carmel, but he's been there 2 years. He's won 81% of his games.
That's not bad.
No, that's not bad. So yeah, you played a good team. But this week you play another good team on Friday night, which is a Hoosier Crossroad Conference doubleheader, and also your cancer awareness.
That's always a special night for us. You know, it's one of the games that I helped start. 12, 13 years ago when I first arrived here as a girls coach. We started our pink game, and that was kind of to honor my mother-in-law, who's a breast cancer survivor. And then when it just kind of got bigger and bigger. I mean, there's been times we honored 30, 40 survivors out here. And just such a special night that goes more, you know, well beyond basketball.
Oh, absolutely.
And, you know, then when I became the boys coach, it was easy with Jenny to kind of make it a boys-girls doubleheader, and that's kind of what we've done here the last 5 years with that game. And kind of got spoiled a couple years ago because of the weather, and I'm already looking at the early weather and like, oh, don't do this again to us. So I'm hoping we're all to go for Friday, but just such a special night, and I enjoy having a couple girls-boys doubleheader and supporting the girls and so forth. But should be a special night of basketball.
Yeah, I love that type of weekend, and in fact, you know, of these games this weekend, you know, we'll have a group here doing your ball game with Southeastern. We'll have a group over at Zionsville with the Zionsville Noblesville, and then of course the Fisher students do their game down there. So Hamilton County TV will have you know, 6 teams, boys and girls.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So it's really a cool event, and I think it, you know, like you said, it's pretty nice to do. You know, the boys and girls.
It is,
bring them together.
You know, I don't know. I'm one that I don't know. Even I could say this from both perspectives because I've coached girls and boys. I wouldn't want to do it every single game from a girls, but to have 2 or 3, I enjoy that, and we have it at Brownsburg, so we got a couple here coming up.
Oh, okay, good. Well, let's talk a little bit about coming up Hamilton Southeastern conference game, big conference game. You're at the top of that conference at 2-0. but you still got 5 conference games left.
Yeah, we got a long way to go. You know, we've only played a couple conference games. We're obviously off to a nice start with 2-0, but man, a good basketball team coming in here Friday night, and they're playing well. You know, they just beat Warren Central and took Lawrence Central to the end. So they're playing well, and you know, anytime you talk about HSE, you got to talk about the big guy. You know, it seems like he's been there forever. Seems like that name's been on my scouting report for 8 years now. So I'll be glad that he's not on that scouting report next year. But whenever you're 7'1", 7'2", you know, you got some issues there. But good player. We just got to make sure that we limit his post touches. And they got a lot more than that. You know, with the Vachilla kid that can shoot it and handle it. You know, he plays a lot older than he is as well. It seems like I've had that name on there a few years. And then Hornbuckle, and just a very physical basketball team, well coached. And so we'll have our hands full. We hope we're up to the challenge, but good basketball team, and should be a good game Friday night.
Yeah. Coach, let's talk a little bit about your team, because you start what I think is 3 very, very talented sophomores that bring a difference to the ball game. And with your senior leadership, you've got a good mix.
We got a good mix of young players and leadership as well. You know, and you know, with Braden Smith and Nick and Cam Hafner, I have to remind myself sometimes that I look out there in the fourth quarter and we have 3 sophomores out there. I really do, and because they don't play like sophomores for sure. And so we've got some great contributions from those kids. And then, you know, you mentioned our seniors. We have 4 seniors, and, you know, Cam probably starts with, you know, Cam Simons, just the leadership that he brings. And we've talked about this before, and I think you have to be a leader when you're a football quarterback as well.
Yeah, or I hope you are.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you better be. So, and then Eli Patchett, man, if you're in one of our locker room or in one of our timeouts, just the leadership that he brings to our team is something that we're going to miss. You know, Saki Vishnu Malakala doesn't get a ton of minutes on the floor, but the stuff that he gives us in practice in our scout team is just invaluable. And then with Zach Byer, one of our starters, just a kid that loves basketball and brings a lot to the table. And so we got 4 seniors that we're going to miss terribly, but we do have a little bit of a balance where we're you know, you look out there and we got a bunch of sophomores, but we have some good senior leaders as well.
Yeah. And then you got a couple of juniors that
we do. You know, Benji Welch, a starter, and Matthew Penley have both been starting for us. So, you know, Benji is one of those guys that always draws their other team's best player. You know, and I don't think that's a secret. You know, whether it's Peter Suter or whoever we're playing, he seems to draw that assignment and just does a tremendous job. And broke his nose a couple games back, so he looked like he had the face shield out there for a couple games. He was finally able to get rid of that the last game, and he was frustrated with that too, because you know, it does bother you a little bit. So he was finally able to get rid of that. And then Matthew Penley's been big for us this entire year, and those are guys, if they're not going to load up the stat sheet, but man, they just bring so much to our basketball team and what they do. So excited for those guys.
You know, and a couple of names you mentioned, when you bring Padgett in the game, I mean, not only that senior leadership, but he's hardcore, man.
Well,
I mean,
you certainly.
I mean, when the ball goes on the floor, he's going after.
You certainly can't go look out there and say that kid doesn't play hard, because he does.
Yes.
I mean, that kid's
both ends.
Yeah, both ends of the floor. He gets after it. He's kind of one of those crowd favorites too, and he can shoot the basketball. He can make open shots. So he just brings a lot to our basketball team, and. He doesn't care who gets the credit, doesn't care if he starts. I never hear one thing from him, you know. So he's really, really, really big for our team.
Well, Coach, like we said here, you've got Lafayette Jeff on Saturday night. Okay,
yeah.
You'll go up to Lafayette Jeff and play up there in a.
I heard they can shoot the ball up there.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, that's what I hear.
Yeah,
I don't know. That's a rumor.
Yeah, well, I can remember when his dad played high school ball at LaPel, and he could put them up. And, and the 2 boys can
Absolutely.
too. And that's good too, not just
and they start shooting it when they arrive in the parking lot too. So and they can make them. It's not like they're they're both shooting over 40%. So, but yeah, we'll have a big challenge going to Lafayette Jeff. I think they've lost one game all year, and that's to the #1 team in Indiana right now, Lawrence Central, or 1 or 2, whatever they're ranked right now. So, and that was in the Hall of Fame. So, we'll have a big challenge at Lafayette Jeff, and we know what we need to do there as far as contest our shooters, and we hope we're up for the challenge.
Yeah, and the one thing about it is after this home game against Southeastern, you'll be going on the road for 3 weeks, going to Lafayette Jeff, and then you play Tri-West, and then another conference game for the third one against Avon.
Yeah, it certainly doesn't get any easier. And we've had a little home stretch here where I think this is our 5th home game in a row. And then Brownsburg,
yeah.
and then we go on the road for a while. You know, we're on the road next Friday at Brownsburg, so certainly I think they're ranked 4th in the state.
Yeah.
So we got a tough stretch, and I think a lot of teams do in January.
And that's what you want.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we want. So you know, we've got a tough stretch coming up here, and you mentioned a lot of these teams that we got, and then we'll go to we play Fishers in the basketball in Indiana day. We're very honored to be in that.
Absolutely.
And got the call last week for that, so that's exciting for our program and our community to go back to Memorial Gymnasium in Kokomo and just a tradition-filled place like that, and against a big-time opponent in Fishers. So we're excited to go there. I think the date on that's February 8th. So we hope to play well on that, and then certainly hope we can come back to Westfield that night, and hopefully our Lady Rocks are playing that night in the section, because I know that's a girls sectional championship day. So hopefully that's an exciting day of basketball for us.
Yeah, and certainly Kokomo's got the new scoreboard in the Memorial Gym and everything.
Well, we opened up there this year.
Oh, okay.
So we've been there this year, and we opened up at Kokomo this year and was able to play well, at least in the second half, shoot the ball well. So hopefully we can have the same result when we go back to Memorial against Fishers on the 8th of February.
That'll be pretty cool, and it gives you a lot of exposure too, because it'll be on Fox.
Absolutely, going to be on Fox
Network.
Sports on live TV, and just a great honor to be chosen to do that here, and just a tradition-filled state like Indiana and Indiana basketball, and for that day, and I think it's a special day, and it should be special for our kids and our program and our school.
Well, Coach, thanks a lot for taking time out and doing this interview today, and we are certainly excited, Hamilton County TV, to be here Friday night for the doubleheader, and we're looking forward to having that Hoosier Crossroad Conference action.
Well, we appreciate everything you guys do. It's certainly exciting to always have you guys here. Appreciate you coming to talk to us, and we enjoy having you.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.